A year ago, if someone had asked how my life was going, I would have said it was nearly flawless. At 37, I was happily married to the woman I cherished most. Her name was Clara. We had spent a decade together, 4 years dating and 6 more as husband and wife. She wasn't just my spouse. She was my sanctuary, my confidant, the one I turned to whether I was celebrating or struggling. We shared dreams of traveling the world, starting a family, and building a future together piece by piece. We had endured heartbreak, 2 miscarriages, but continued trying to conceive. At least, I thought we were trying. Everything started unraveling after Clara traveled out of state to attend a wedding. It was for a close friend, and I couldn't join her due to tight deadlines at work and a strained budget. She appeared to understand, or at least acted like she did. I drove her to the airport, kissed her goodbye, and told her to enjoy the celebration. She hugged me tightly and whispered that she loved me. The thought that she'd return as someone unrecognizable never crossed my mind. When she got back, everything seemed normal. She was radiant, full of stories about the ocean breeze, the laughter, the ceremony. That evening, we had dinner, watched a movie snuggled on the couch, and fell asleep wrapped in each other's arms. As she slept, I kissed her forehead, unaware that our reality had already changed. 3 weeks later, I began feeling strange, exhausted, uneasy. At first, I chalked it up to stress and overwork, but eventually I saw a doctor. His voice was low and serious when he spoke. "Thomas, you've contracted a sexually transmitted disease." I laughed, stunned. "That's impossible. I'm married. Clara is the only person I've been with." His eyes met mine with quiet gravity. Sometimes the people we trust most aren't who we think they are. Those words echoed in my mind long after I left the clinic. Still in disbelief, I sought a second opinion. But the second test only confirmed the first. That evening, I sat in my car parked in front of our house, staring at the door I'd always walked through, feeling loved and secure. My stomach was tight with dread. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed proof. I started watching her closely. Clara had always guarded her phone, but I was patient. One night while she was taking a bath, I took a look. The phone was spotless, too spotless. No strange texts, no odd call logs. For a moment, I convinced myself the doctors had made a mistake. Then, while tidying up our bedroom one evening as she cooked dinner, something we often did for each other, I noticed her purse slightly open. Inside was a prescription bottle with her name on it. My blood ran cold. The medication was for the same STD I had. My throat went dry. I looked it up online to be absolutely sure, then walked into the kitchen. "Clara, can you come here a second?" She walked in, drying her hands on a towel, smiling casually. I held up the bottle. "What's this for?" Her expression froze. Her eyes darted briefly. "Oh, that? It's nothing." I picked it up for friend. I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "No. We're both going to get tested today." Her smile vanished. She backed away, stammering, "You can't make me." "I'm fine." I stepped forward, my voice steady but firm. "I've tested positive, twice. So, unless you can explain that, I'll make sure both our families know what I caught and how." Her face drained of color. She collapsed onto the edge of the bed and broke down sobbing. Through tears, she admitted everything. The wedding, the drinking, an old college acquaintance. She insisted it was a one-time mistake, that it meant nothing, that she was drunk and scared of losing me. She called it a moment of weakness. But I didn't hear remorse. I heard panic, desperation. She wouldn't have confessed if I hadn't gotten sick. That betrayal cut deeper than the act itself. That night, I moved into the guest room. The next morning, I contacted a divorce attorney. Since the house was in my name and we had no children, the legal part was straightforward. I approached it like signing off on a business deal, cold, precise, circles. So, I anonymously sent brief messages to the leaders of her 3 favorite organizations. You may want to ask Clara what happened at Sarah's wedding before keeping her in your group. 2 days later, the divorce papers were served. I wasn't home when they arrived, But when I returned, Clara was waiting. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her body trembling. "Thomas, please," she begged. "We can fix this." I looked at her, calm and unwavering. "This isn't revenge. This is me taking my life back." She pleaded.
She wept.
She even tried to seduce me. It was pitiful and repulsive. I walked past her without a word. Over the next few weeks, her life crumbled. Her friends distanced themselves. Her volunteer work dropped her. Even the college friend she had betrayed me with cut ties. She sent me a frantic email. "I've lost everything." I never replied. I left the city and moved to a peaceful coastal town 2 hours away. I started a new job, found a new place to live, and began rebuilding my life. Therapy, something I'd once scoffed at, became my anchor. It helped me piece myself back together. Eventually, I stopped checking in on her online. Stopped wondering what I could have done differently. Stopped reliving it. I was healing. Then one stormy Wednesday evening, 7 months after I'd walked away, there was a knock at my door. Not the buzzer, but a knock on the wood itself. I peered through the peephole. Clara, soaked to the bone, arms wrapped tightly around herself. I opened the door slightly. "Hi," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I said nothing, just looked at her. She stepped forward tentatively, but I didn't move. "Please," she murmured. "I know I'm the last person you want to see, but I don't have anywhere else to go." Against my better judgment, I let her in. Not because I still cared, because I was curious. I wanted to see what her consequences had done to her. She looked hollow. Her hair tangled, her clothes wrinkled, her small bag barely full. She looked like someone displaced. "What do you want, Clara?" I asked flatly. Her voice cracked. "I've lost everything.
My family disowned me.
I lost my job after the gossip got around. I'm staying at my cousin's place, but it's not permanent. I've applied everywhere. I came to say sorry. Really say it this time." I stared at her. "I already forgave you," I said. "But that doesn't mean I want you back." She flinched, her face falling like she had hoped for some sliver of kindness. "I understand," she said softly. "I'm not here to beg. I just needed you to know I've changed. That I regret it all." I nodded slowly. "Here's the thing, Clara. You don't get to decide when your apology is enough. You don't get to rebuild what you destroyed just because you feel sorry now." Her eyes filled with tears. "I'm not asking for another chance. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I just miss you. I miss us." I stepped toward the door and opened it wide. What we had died the moment you chose someone else, and brought home more than just guilt. She stood still, her voice barely audible. "I really did love you." I looked into her eyes. "I believe you did. But love without loyalty? That's just betrayal in disguise." She nodded slowly. My words hit her harder than a slap. With nothing more to say, she stepped back into the rain. As I watched her disappear into the storm, I felt something I hadn't in a long time.
Peace.
Clara didn't just lose her husband. She lost the version of herself that could have been saved. And I found the man I never knew was waiting to be discovered. Whole, unbroken, free.